At 10 tonight, City of Springdale is looking at lowering water rates for senior citizens. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman in the studio now. Tell us why it may not be so easy to make all this happen, Laura.
Yeah, Darren, this conversation began when a resident of Springdale spoke out during a city council meeting claiming the water rates for Springdale have jumped 33%. But senior citizens living on a fixed income can't sustain that.
Water is essential for all of us.
It's a little more complicated than waving a magic wand.
The city of Springdale wants to make sure its senior citizens aren't drowning in water bills. Executive Director of Springdale Water Utilities says he would love to give seniors a discount, but they've got a few hurdles to jump through.
There's some legal and financial impacts that have to be studied on something like this. As much as I would like to give somebody some kind of discount, someone's thrown out 50%. We've done back of the envelope math.
That would take away almost $1 million of taxpayer money for the city. Ward believes the best time to dive into that will be in 2028 when they do their rate study.
Looking at individual account holders and not commercial businesses, and not people who are on a master meter.
Ward says it's not a lack of will as much as it is.
How do we implement that mechanism and how do we administratively make it work?
He compared it to taking a mortgage out at a bank.
When we borrow money, we make a guarantee that we are going to charge certain rates over a certain period of time in order to service that debt.
Springdale already has bonds they need to pay off, keeping their budget waterlogged.
That's what makes it a little more complicated than just saying, hey, I want to give you a discount.
Now, I spoke with Springdale City Council member Mike Overton, who said the recent water and sewer hikes are hitting seniors on fixed incomes, some as low as $1,000 a month, and that the increases are meant to fund future infrastructure. As of now, nothing is set in stone, and the conversation has been tabled until the 17th. Laura Castleman, 5 News.
All right, Laura, thanks. Appreciate that. New tonight, the man accused of driving while intoxicated and causing an 18-year-old to be severely injured in Fort Smith was sentenced this week. Christopher Pacheco was initially charged with a misdemeanor back in May, but charges were later upgraded to second-degree battery. Noah Meyer was injured in that crash. His family told us in July that he'll probably never walk again. Pacheco took a plea deal and was sentenced to 10 years suspended sentence. In central Oklahoma, dozens are still recovering tonight after a chemical spill caused many to be exposed to ammonia. 34 people were hospitalized after an ammonia tanker's leaking gasket exposed area surrounding a Holiday Inn in Weatherford, Oklahoma. Several are still in critical condition right now. 80 first responders helped out. Several of them were also exposed and hospitalized. Some schools in the Weatherford area were closed and a shelter-in-place was in place for several hours this morning. Here in Arkansas, the man accused of stabbing 2 people to death at Devil's Den State Park over the summer will be in court tomorrow for the first time since August. Andrew McGann faces 2 counts of capital murder after he was arrested in July for the deaths of Kristen and Clinton Brink. Since his arrest, he's made 1 court appearance. His lawyers have filed multiple motions in the last month calling for the death penalty to be removed from the case and for their client to be able to wear civilian clothing. We'll, of course, be covering McGann's latest court appearance tomorrow morning on 5 News Plus. 5 News reporters Jacob Luthi and Bo Russell will be live from the Washington County Courthouse. You can download the 5 News Plus app, by the way, for your TV. Followed the latest developments in this trial. There is new information tonight in the case of Aaron Spencer. He's the Lonoke County man charged with killing his daughter's alleged rapist. Spencer is running for county sheriff there, but if he is convicted, he cannot serve in that position. Carter Thweet gets us up to speed now on how that case is unfolding.
Prosecutors attempting to paint a picture that Aaron Spencer planned to kill 67-year-old Michael Fossler even before he found Fossler with his 14-year-old daughter on October 8, 2024. That theory emerged in a legal brief late last week. His defense says his actions before the shooting aren't relevant. The state says they are, and included several new details in their reasoning. Prosecutors highlighted Spencer's conduct 3 months before the killing. Prior to Fossler's arrest in July on more than 40 charges and counts, the state says Spencer asked an acquaintance of Fossler's for the man's address. He allegedly told that person, quote, "Don't call anyone. don't call the police. But word did get out, and as investigators looked into the rape, 2 Lonoke County Sheriff's officers showed up to Spencer's home. A transcript of their conversation, recorded by body cam in July, is in the state's filing. Spencer questions how much prison time Fossler might face. He asks the officers, what's going to happen? 3 to 5? He's rolling around, cruising, grooming? He then refers to another child abuser and says, quote, he's going to get back out, isn't he? Indicating his belief that the same would happen with Fossler. One of the deputies warned Spencer, saying, we don't live in a country where you can take the law into your own hands. Spencer responds with an expletive. The prosecution saying all of this proves Spencer had an intent to kill, saying, quote, his understandable rage did not give him the legal right to kill Fossler. Ultimately, that'll be up to a jury in a trial for second-degree murder set for January 26th of next year.
That was Carter Thweet reporting. Now, if Spencer is able to run, he will look to unseat current Lonoke County Sheriff John Staley, who is running for another term. That election, by the way, November 3rd of next year. Meanwhile, there is new concern over the proposed site for a new middle school in Fayetteville. The district looking to build the new Ramey Middle School campus on the east side of town, right off College Avenue. The district has already bought the land there and says it'll help them meet their new feeder plan goals. But a local group says it is concerned it will impact tree preservation in that area, alongside safety, pointing to the steep hillside, erosion concerns, and heavy traffic near existing schools.
I look at this beautiful hillside every day that I come to work, and to imagine that just being gone.
That's 100 to 135-year-old recovering ecosystem that should not be sacrificed to put a building and a practice football field on.
Superintendent says they are listening to these concerns. He says designers are minimizing the footprint and preserving more than 30% of the natural landscape, along with adding stormwater runoff and street safety improvements. They plan to open this new middle school campus in 3 years. At the University of Arkansas Athletic Department, athletic director getting a big promotion. Hunter Yurachek announced as the new chair for the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. In case you don't know, this is the committee in charge of selecting the 12-team field for the playoffs. Yurachek will replace Baylor's AD Mack Rhodes, who stepped down from the role this week amid a university investigation. He has been on the committee since last year and will be the chair for the remainder of this season.